Hey traders from around the world, what's going on? It's me, Jerremy Alexander Newsome with reallifetrading.com. Hope everyone's doing fantastic. Got the SPY on the board. Here's a little fun fact for you. This is the first time that the S&P 500 has closed down 5 days in a row in the same week since 2016, before the election, whatever that means. So yeah, first time in over 2 years. So this was the time right here, back right before the election, that it closed down 5 days in a row in the same week. Just a little bit of an interesting fun fact for you. That's what we do. We like to have fun. Got an iron condor on the SPY. You all know about it at this point. Still some premium out there to be had, but this was a quadruple witching day, which means weekly options, quarterly options, and monthly options all expired today, and you would have not have known that by looking at the candle. Pretty much a non-event. So on the SPY, it's doing its thing. You can see Mr. Squiggles predicted that we would probably have a slight drop down and maybe we make it to the 200, I'm sorry, the 100, and maybe we bounce. That would make sense. And if that does happen, what I'll probably end up doing is just chilling, buying the dip, and letting this market continue to chop around. That's pretty much it. Today was option expiration day. A lot of real life traders, and I do mean a lot, had some options expiring today. Facebook obviously is a stock that I get requests for pretty often, and this was requested as well for this week. Facebook, my friends, is just very bullish to neutral. And what I mean by that is, if you zoom out to a daily chart, what you're going to see is you're going to see obviously a bullish trend, right? So if you're in Facebook, just keep holding if you're in shares. Don't sell them, just keep holding. It's going to be a while. We do go higher on Facebook. We do hit 200 this year on Facebook. It's just going to take a little bit. So bullish to neutral, bull put spreads, put sales, longer term calls, shares, covered calls, that kind of thing is going to pay you on Facebook. Meaning if you're a person in the world, you probably have either a WhatsApp, a Instagram, or a Facebook. And Facebook owns all three of those. They have a lot of data, a lot of information. That is more customers than Apple that they can advertise to and sell things to. So I love Facebook long term. Keep on holding it. And again, for my traders who are doing some put sales, congratulations, those all expired worthless. That's really all I got on Facebook. I don't have any directional trade on this one right now. There's a little bit of a short-term resistance right here, and obviously if it pops, it'll just slowly keep grinding higher. My good friend Marios over there from Cyprus, only real life trader who lives in Cyprus right now, has been just crushing that one. Dean had a put sale. David, shout outs to you. Steven has his first put sale at 160. A lot of other traders making some money on Facebook. Looking good. I did have a bull put spread on TLT. This is the Treasury bond. Got into that back on the 5th of February. As it was going down, sold a bull put spread 114, 113. That went to options heaven today. And there's a good chance I'll probably consider doing another one down there, maybe even for May on TLT. I just like having the Treasury bonds just because sometimes, and usually bonds and equities, do a little bit of a different thing. So they're not insanely directly tied to the markets. And I figured, you know, why not just have one just in case? So that's TLT. And the only other put sale that I haven't either already bought back, I had a few for March, was 3D printing. So 3D printing, we got into this particular put sale sometime around here when it gapped up before they released earnings, and sold that put at $8.50 for 10 cents, which was pretty nice at the time. Well, still would be nice. And I just, FYI, I'll probably end up doing that one again. 3D making higher lows, making higher highs. It was a white candle gapping up to the 200, so it makes sense that we fade. I'm expecting 3D to maybe fade all the way back down to 11, which again, I'll probably look to do an April or May put sale again. My options trading has increased dramatically, as now we have gone from a nice trendy market, right? I mean, really since August, I think I've placed 8 bearish trades, and it was just a gorgeous trend. So I mean, if you didn't make money between August and January, I don't know. But obviously a lot of volatility, some crazy stuff going on in February and March. I get it. So my option selling has increased dramatically, just letting the market chop around, day trading a lot more options and not as many swing trades or buy and hold for the just preceding future. Buy things as low as you can. Speaking of buying low, here's Walmart. This one got requested about 15 times today. WMT, very nice and interesting move on Walmart recently. So you obviously had a nice bearish gap and go right there. Let me move that over here. That was a recording for the coaching session I just had. So bearish gap and go, strong gap down. You had a flag pattern, very, very easy to play rollover right there. And you just had 2 or 3 days of bouncing off the 200. What happened yesterday is a lot of traders did go bullish on Walmart yesterday, not yesterday, I'm sorry, 2 or 3 days before, off the 200, and it just didn't bounce, which will absolutely happen from time to time. And then this wick came in, really if I go to a 5-minute chart yesterday, there was only like 15 minutes of selling on Walmart all day. So just a random whipsaw, that's what that's called, just to make sure everyone's trapped. Everyone's trapped, and then you get a nice little high wave candle. So I mentioned that if we close above 89.13, which we did on Walmart, if you're looking at playing this bullish, I'm not going to say it's going to work by any means, but I feel like this right here, this candle is the whipsaw, making sure bulls got trapped, bears got trapped, and since we closed above it, realistically, this is how I'll be looking at playing, is simply a bullish limit buy, pretty much right at the high of the day yesterday with the stop a little bit below the low of the day, and that's what it's going to look like with just candles. If you want to be a little bit more conservative than that, that's understandable. There's a little bit of resistance right there. Wait for a close above that. I did look at, there is some $80 put sale premium for May, just in case you don't mind owning Walmart 10% cheaper than it already is. But realistically, if you zoom out to this thing on a weekly time frame, this is the weekly chart, and really we're just retesting old resistances, new support. So it's a very interesting level. This gap down, obviously on a weekly, not that fantastically strong by any means, and so there's a little bit of cause for concern. But Walmart, as you know, is a longer term in most situations, kind of a buy and hold, forget that you own it, be in there until it goes higher type of trade in most situations, because I've heard that a lot of people use Walmart and they make a lot of money. So that's my thoughts on Walmart. Next request that I had was Apple and Goldman Sachs. Here's Apple, took some AAPL. We do have an official setup on this one on Apple. My buddy Ray had a put sale for 170. That expired worthless today. Victor has a 160, also has a covered call at 190. And I'm just looking at Apple chilling here at the 10 EMA. It just made a new all-time high 3 or 4 days ago. And we knew it was going to pull back, right? Because you had bullish candle, bullish candle, bullish candle, bullish candle. 4 bullish candles in a row. You had what looked like a double bottom right there. Made a new all-time high. And then that's when all the newbies hopped on bullish, right there. And that's when the pullback occurred. So anyway, on Apple, I love Apple. It will hit $200 this year. That's my take anyway. And if it can break above 180, 70, beautiful. If not, if it pulls back to the 50, you could probably try to buy the dip off the 20 and the 50. Just kind of leg into some of that trade and let it see what it does off the 100. But anyway, bull put spreads, longer term put sales, being in shares, long-term calls. As long as you're bullish on Apple and you have some type of position, that would be great. Short term, this is the setup right there. Here's Goldman Sachs, ticker symbol GS. And Goldman Sachs, 2 inside day candles back to back. You had a nice bearish candle here. And this could be a bullish thing or a bearish thing. We're going to find that out on Monday. If this breaks down, a lot of buyers will be trapped. And Goldman Sachs will have a quick flash lower into the 100. Probably even 250 before it bounces again. Otherwise, if the market is bullish, obviously, on Monday or Tuesday, then I can see Goldman Sachs just slowly grinding higher. But overall, as I'm looking at this one, the trend looks nice. And I mean, these are all-time highs here on Goldman Sachs. So just give it some time, be patient, let it slowly grind higher. If it does pull back, I think it pulls back Monday, Tuesday, and then again, you'll slowly get that dip. But it did make a new all-time high, higher high, and a higher low just this week. So that's pretty interesting. And let's go look at Nvidia. This one was not requested, but figured I would just look at it anyway because it is in a beautiful pennant pattern right there. Inside day candle today on Nvidia. My good buddy David Webb over there in Houston still has some shares. My good buddy Justin Jeffrey has longer term calls. A lot of traders are in Nvidia still, just longer term. fantastic buy the dip opportunity off the 50, which a lot of real life traders participated in and sold right there. So if this thing does break out Monday, Tuesday, look to buy that quick dip, and then Nvidia will overall, more than likely, just slowly continue higher. Folks from around the world, thanks so much for tuning in, and thanks for your requests. I hope this was somewhat helpful, and I'll be back with another real life stock review on Monday. And until then, remember, love life, and trade it. You guys rock. Bye.